Michael Jackson didn't just walk onto a stage. He made an entrance. The lights would go dark. The crowd would scream. And then nothing. Silence. Anticipation. Tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. Then the music would hit. The lights would explode. And Michael would appear like a force of nature, sending tens of thousands of people into absolute hysteria. These weren't just performances. These were events. Moments so powerful that people fainted, screamed until they lost their voices, and remembered them for the rest of their lives. Today, we're counting down the top 5 Michael Jackson stage entrances that made fans completely lose their minds. From frozen poses that lasted minutes to explosions that shook stadiums, these are the moments that prove Michael Jackson was the greatest showman who ever lived. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, we have the Dangerous tour opener from 1992 to 93. Picture this. The stadium is packed. 70,000 people are waiting. The lights go completely black. Then you hear it. The opening drums will jam. The bass hits. The crowd is already going insane. Suddenly, a rocket-shaped platform shoots up from beneath the stage with Michael standing on top of it. Fireworks explode on both sides. The entire stage is engulfed in smoke and fire. Michael is wearing the gold Dangerous outfit, military-inspired, covered in buckles and gold details. His arms are crossed. His expression is fierce. He's not moving, just standing there like a statue while the crowd absolutely loses sight. The screaming is deafening. People are crying. Some are literally collapsing. Michael holds the pose for what feels like forever, probably 30 to 40 seconds, just letting the crowd soak in the moment. Then, finally, he moves. One sharp gesture. The music kicks into full gear, and the show begins. What made this entrance so legendary? First, the element of surprise. Nobody expected a rocket platform. Nobody expected that level of pyrotechnics. It was bigger and bolder than anything he'd done before. Second, the restraint. Michael knew that sometimes doing nothing is more powerful than doing everything. That frozen pose while the crowd went ballistic? That's showmanship at its finest. Third, the sheer scale. This wasn't a club. This wasn't a theater. This was a stadium filled with 70,000 people, and Michael commanded every single one of them with just his presence. The Dangerous tour entrance set a new standard for what a concert opening could be. It was theatrical. It was explosive, and it made fans lose their absolute minds. Number 4, we have the Bad tour entrance from 1987 to 89. This one is iconic for a different reason. No explosions, no rockets, just pure, unfiltered Michael Jackson commanding a stage like nobody else ever could. The lights go dark. The crowd is screaming. Then you hear the opening of Wanna Be Startin' Something. A spotlight hits the center of the stage, and there he is, Michael Jackson, standing on a raised platform about 10 feet above the stage floor. He's wearing the Bad tour outfit, all black leather with silver buckles and chains, arms at his sides, completely still. The crowd is already in hysterics, but Michael doesn't move. He just stands there. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The screaming gets louder. People are jumping, waving, crying, begging him to move. And then finally he does. One small head tilt. The crowd erupts even louder. Another 30 seconds of stillness. Then a hand gesture. The place goes insane. Michael knew exactly what he was doing. He was building anticipation. He was making every single person in that arena focus entirely on him. And when he finally started moving, hitting those sharp, precise Bad era moves, it was like a dam breaking. What made this entrance legendary? The psychological control. Michael understood human emotion better than almost any performer in history. He knew that anticipation creates tension and tension creates release. So he made people wait. He made them desperate to see him move. And when he finally did, the payoff was enormous. There are videos of this entrance where you can see people in the crowd literally shaking with emotion. Grown men with tears streaming down their faces. Women screaming so hard they're clutching their chests. That's not just a performance. That's a spiritual experience. The Bad tour entrance proved that Michael didn't need gimmicks or special effects. He just needed to stand there and exist, and he could make 70,000 people lose their minds. Number 3, we have what fans call the Toaster, the legendary History Tour entrance from 1996 to 97. This one is insane. The lights go dark. The crowd is already at a fever pitch. Then you hear the opening sounds, mechanical, industrial, ominous. Images flash on the screens. Soldiers marching. Power. Authority. Then the stage opens up and a massive mechanical structure rises from beneath. It looks like a giant toaster or a rocket launcher. Smoke pours out, lights flash, and inside the structure, barely visible through the smoke and lights, is Michael Jackson, but you can only see his silhouette. He's completely still. The structure slowly rises to its full height, probably 20 feet tall, and the crowd is screaming. Then the front of the structure drops down like a drawbridge, creating a ramp. More smoke, more lights. And there he is, Michael Jackson, standing in a gold outfit with a cape, arms spread wide like he's about to take flight. The crowd is in absolute chaos. People are fainting. Security is pulling fans out of the crowd who are hyperventilating. The noise is deafening. Michael holds the pose. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. The anticipation is unbearable. Then he moves. One step forward. The cape flows behind him, and the show begins. What made this entrance legendary? The sheer theatricality. This wasn't just a concert. This was a coronation. Michael was presenting himself as a king, a commander, a force of nature. The toaster structure made him look like he was descending from another world. The Isha Street tour was during one of the most controversial periods of Michael's life. He was facing allegations, media attacks, and public scrutiny. But when he stepped onto that stage, none of it mattered. He was the king, untouchable, undeniable. Fans who were at those shows say the energy was unlike anything they'd ever experienced. Some describe it as electric. Others say it felt spiritual. Many say it was the most powerful live performance they've ever witnessed. The toaster entrance is legendary because it showed Michael at the height of his power, commanding stages around the world with an entrance so dramatic it looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Number 2, we have the entrance that changed music history forever. Michael Jackson's Motown 25 performance on March 25th, 1983. Now, technically, this wasn't a tour entrance, but it deserves to be on this list because it's the moment Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson. The Pasadena Civic Auditorium, packed with celebrities, music legends, and industry executives. Michael had just finished performing with his brothers, doing the nostalgic Jackson 5 hits. Then he stepped forward and said those now iconic words. I have to say, those were the good old days. I love those songs. Those were magic moments with all my brothers, including Jermaine. But what I really like are the new songs. The opening beat of Billie Jean started playing, and the crowd erupted. Michael started moving, smooth, controlled, electric. Every spin, every pose, every gesture was perfect. He owned that stage. And then 1 minute and 32 seconds into the performance, he did it. The moonwalk. Michael glided backward across the stage like he was defying gravity. The crowd went insane. Celebrities jumped out of their seats. People were screaming, pointing, unable to believe what they were seeing. He hit the iconic toe stand pose. One leg bent, one arm raised, head tilted down, frozen. The place absolutely lose it. What made this entrance legendary? It was the moment Michael Jackson went from being a star to being a legend. Before Motown 25, people knew Michael as the cute kid from the Jackson 5. After Motown 25, he was the king of pop. That performance was watched by 47 million people live. The next day, Billie Jean shot to #1. MTV put the video on repeat. The Thriller album exploded. Michael became the biggest star on the planet, all because of 5 minutes on a stage in Pasadena. The Motown 25 entrance wasn't just a performance. It was a coronation. It was the moment the world collectively agreed. This is the greatest performer we've ever seen. And finally, at #1, we have the greatest stage entrance in the history of live performance. Michael Jackson at Super Bowl 27 on January 31st, 1993. 133 million people watching live. The biggest television audience in history at that time. The entire world was watching. The lights go dark. The crowd of over 90,000 people at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena is screaming. Then, suddenly, Michael Jackson is launched onto the stage from beneath. He literally shoots up through a trapdoor and lands in a crouched position, one fist on the ground, head down, and then he doesn't move. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The crowd is going ballistic. The screaming is so loud, it's almost painful to listen to. People are jumping, crying, losing their minds. Michael is completely frozen. Not a muscle moves. 90 seconds. Yes, 90 seconds of complete stillness while 133 million people watch and wait. Then, finally, he rips off his sunglasses, points to the crowd, and the place explodes. He starts hitting poses. Sharp, powerful, iconic. Each move sends the crowd into a new level of hysteria. Then the music kicks in, jam, and Michael launches into one of the greatest 12-minute performances in television history. What made this entrance legendary? Everything. The scale, 133 million people watching. The confidence only Michael Jackson could stand completely still for 90 seconds and make it the most exciting moment of the night. The cultural impact. Before Michael's Super Bowl performance, halftime shows were boring marching bands and low-budget entertainment. After Michael, every artist wanted that slot. He created the modern Super Bowl halftime show. That 90-second freeze became one of the most iconic moments in entertainment history. It's been analyzed, studied, imitated, and referenced for over 30 years. Michael Jackson didn't just enter a stage that night, he entered history. So there you have it, the top 5 Michael Jackson stage entrances that made fans lose their minds. From the dangerous rocket to the bad raised platform to the H-story toaster to the Motown moonwalk to the Super Bowl freeze that stopped the world, Michael Jackson knew how to command a stage like nobody else ever has or ever will. These weren't just entrances. They were moments of pure magic, moments that fans remember decades later. Moments that prove Michael Jackson wasn't just a performer, he was DAT performer. What's your favorite Michael Jackson entrance? Did I rank them right, or would you change the order? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love this countdown of Michael's most legendary stage moments, smash that like button and subscribe to King of Pop for more deep dives into the greatest entertainer who ever lived. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. The King of Pop forever. Peace.